All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. So beautiful to see everyone. I got to grab my crystal. Hang on one moment. Try to get where the ground is a little bit level. All right. So here we go. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon, good evening. So wonderful to have everyone joining. Trying to get this set up to where I can not only have service everyone and have the light and all of the good things. This is just totally going downhill completely. That's the only spot that's not going downhill, and I hope that's gonna let me stay connected. So good evening. Hello. Let me scooch again. Living in the middle of the woods on a hill means that there's no flat surface. There's no flat surface. There we go. Perfect. So, welcome everyone. I want to say congratulations, Mina, for leading your first 0 point in that way. So that was amazing. I left a message on WhatsApp, but I'm just going to go ahead and, congratulate you here as well. That was amazing. Super proud, super, super proud. And of course, so much has been coming through, right, guys? So much has been coming through. And it's amazing because just the coming together right now of our cosmic, solar, stellar families, the galactic families, it's pretty amazing. It's really amazing. I just came across another sister in this community. Actually, I feel a few of them. And one of them specifically that we've had many incarnations together, Lyrian, Arcturian, Andromedan. So I felt that, she connected deeper into it, picked up on some more. So it's just been like, this is really, really pouring forth right now. It's just like this as those of us that are keepers, as we are assisted, like as we are awakening, as we are activating, we are assisting others in recognizing that they hold, like, because your vessel is a key, you hold keys. That doesn't necessarily mean you're a key keeper, but your vessel is the key to unlocking all that you are, like unlocking whether you hold the keys to the portal keeper or the code keeper or portal activator or a wisdom keeper or crystal keeper or dragon keeper or whatever. So it's just, but first you have to be activated. That's why, you guys, now you see why I have been so passionate about saying that, is I knew that's why it had to happen that way. Well, that's amazing. But that's what's so beautiful about it, is it gives you an opportunity to really start stepping into it with those that you're already connected with, to prepare you for whatever's beyond. So I think that's absolutely amazing. This is why you're here. This is why I let go of everything to step into this role as a teacher, so that I could assist others in answering their call to be teachers, to be guides, to just, or whatever it is that you're here to do. Maybe that's not what you're here to do. Maybe you're here to assist in balancing or just doing grid work. And grid work has many levels and layers. The codes have, there's so much. There's not just one like each part is a piece of the puzzle, and that's why we come together in these communities, because we can't do it alone. It's not meant to be done alone. Some of us, if you're a crystal keeper, you need the wisdom keepers. So you need the wisdom keepers because they contain the magic that goes in the crystals, that activates the crystals, which activates the central core of the earth, which is just like so much. So what I see is happening is, for our soul pod in these different pillars, again, I'm just seeing so clearly why, because there are going to be those of you stepping into your roles, and of course your commitment to that is based on what you want to do, right? You don't have to ever. I see your stick, baby. Who'd had to bring me a stick? But especially, I feel like, especially for where we've been shifting as a collective, I think that the stepping into these roles is going to really start showing you, for those, and I want to keep this, I want to be clear on this, that doesn't necessarily, I feel like some might move through imposter syndrome, because I did. You have to discover, even though if it resonates, you have to discover and spend some time with this and really, really, really let things start coming through for you to recognize, even if it's resonant, why is it resonant? Like, what's in there that you hold? Like, to start discovering that, because you can't, even through the activations, even through what I offer in activations, you have to trust your intuition, because I am not here to give you what your codes, like, I can't tell you what is activating through you. Only you know that. Like, I can reflect it to you, and if you are having a difficult time perceiving the truth behind the words, I can help and expand on that, and provide the mirror without the perspective, of a certain belief, but the truth, which is beyond time, and it's beyond such limitations. So you have to, the most absolute necessity for this is continuously embodying your highest frequency of sovereignty. Absolutely, baby steps. It doesn't mean that you cannot start, like, focusing on that and calling stuff in. Absolutely. But you have to recognize that it is a responsibility, that it's something that if you say that's where I want to fulfill, then that's where you start focusing your energy. Not all the time, but that's where you would really start tapping in. Yes, it is. The reason why is because the codes are a certain, so to bring your light body online, anyone can access their light body, anyone. But when you want to start stepping into the activation point, like everything that we're doing here, if you're wanting to start integrating your own blueprint into New Earth, then yes. The reason for that is because that's why we're here. Like, that's our purpose. That's the purpose that we serve. So the vessels, so that's why souls are aligning to those that are of that purpose, so that they can assist in the fulfillment of said activation. So, because if not, your genetic blueprint would still be accessing from a place of programmed constructs. A purity carrier is there to purify. So it purifies, as you guys have seen, everything. And you move through the different phases of purification to access the different levels of the blueprint. So the depth and the extent to which a person wants to do that depends on to what degree they want to answer the call. So some are just going to want to receive transmissions such as this for the simple point of a meditation tool. They're those that are going to want to go a little bit deeper and start releasing themselves from the programmed gene codes, because the purity code carriers, those of us that are here as portal keepers, as code keepers, those of us that are already online, we are online for that purpose, so that when others start awakening and start feeling the nudge to answer that call, we have the space open, we have the frequency attunements, because those codes within the vessel, they answer to a certain frequency. So being immersed in a channel of light that has the availability, has the ability to access that from within themselves, but to also hold that space of purification and purity, so that you can come online and assist you as you come online. So yes, that's your answer. That's a little bit of a longer answer, but the answer is yes. And that's something that, like I said, I mean, I think you guys have definitely heard me speak into this enough, and I've talked about where that's something that I feel is being addressed now from other channels and spiritual guides and stuff. But you know, again, it was something that was just really reflected back to me recently about how important that is. And because we operate beyond time, so we are accessing from the different gateways and the different portals and the different interdimensional planes where that is necessary to activate from. So otherwise, yeah. Oh, okay, that's no problem. Basically, I was just saying that we are attuned to the frequencies, the different portals, the different gateways. That's where it's coming in from. So we are beyond time. So we access beyond time. Because of this, we access from a place that is of a specific attunement. It's our sole purpose here. And so we open up the portals and we purify through that portal, because the portal is us. That's what we are. We're gateways of purity. So and each code carrier carries a specific purpose, and that's why those of us that are online came online when we did, so that at this point we could start doing what we're doing right now, although we've been doing it, but to this degree. And you can think of it like the pyramids so that's what I'm being shown. I've spoken into this before, but it's been a while. The pyramids of Giza were activation portals. All of the interdimensional pyramids were. That's why you travel through the different interdimensional chambers, was for points of activation. That's how you traveled in the old world. And also those that were here, that were in those times, and were also assisting, or not assisting, that were incarnate during the golden timelines of Lemuria and Atlantis. We are connected to those timelines. So those of us that are, I know it as the Magi Grail lines, those of us that are connected into those golden thread lines, we are able to open that portal and connect into that and channel that wisdom through. Yes, the latter part. People will get activated if they choose to get activated. And so I feel like when I brought the 27, I'm going to tap into that in just a second, because that was an older channeling. I'm going to go into that a little bit more. But the latter part, people, that's why we activate those like yourself, so that you can carry that forward. That's the whole point. It's not just so that it's only a select few. It's that those that are here to serve that purpose are fulfilling a directive. Like, that's our soul agreement. And because it is so powerful that it does not take everyone being activated all at once, it takes a handful being activated, which awakens the collective enough so that more start wanting to know about it, which brings those that are ready into that portal to be activated so that they can start stepping into their roles, and then so on and so forth. It tiers itself for a reason, because the way that the energy works is in layers. So there are going to be souls at different levels, purposeful time until they are ready to ascend, if they choose, and then those at the lower frequencies will rise up into that's the tier of ascension. And it's all serving the purpose of soul evolution. That's what you agreed upon. And I think that's what sometimes the human mind forgets, is that it's just like going to school. You have to go grade by grade, lesson by lesson, right? So you have to, you agreed to learn how to do certain things so that you could step into your roles, and so that you could also remember what you already have access to in other avatars, along with what you had access to in your incarnate lives. See, a lot of times people tap into the traumatic lifetimes, but there are golden lifetimes. There are beautiful, magical lifetimes that you lived on this plane. And now it's time. Those were under lock and key, if you will, because energetically it was not ready or able to be accessed, but now it is. So now is when we had to master how we connected into our past lives in the now moment, so that when we connected into the timelines, the golden timelines, we would know what to do. You got to remember, everything is about energy, and everything is about how you handle that energy in your point of sovereignty, not suffering. So it's always about mastery. So that's why everything is a rite of passage. Everything is initiation. So, that's the way it works. It's not a hierarchy. It's just like initiative stages. So 27, that's what I kept receiving from Ra and Yeshua. So is this still correct? Yes. So, the 20, but you got to remember, that's just speaking of purity. That's just purity codes. There are others that hold different major code signatures. So, the purity codes have like a tier, like a pyramid, and there are purity codes that are accessible in other races, other beings of light, other planetary spheres, other interdimensional planes. So that's what I connect into. That's my purpose, is for purification. There are others that really connect into Christed consciousness, which is the reason why it's 27 is because that is that's your activation point for the chambers. So a super consciousness channel is accessing all of it, and it assists others in coming online to that point within themselves. So there are many others that have access points to many other frequencies, many other codes, and they all serve in a beautiful way, just like each of you have a purpose, a blueprint that is fulfilled through these activations. And the degree at which you step into that, whether it's just receiving it or whether it's actually passing it along as a master teacher. If you pass it along as a master teacher, that's again your legacy of love. But I'm starting to see the legacy of love is simply whatever you leave energetically from the space of the heart through your activated blueprint. So it would be whatever point of sacred service, whether it is teaching or whether it's not teaching. That would be your legacy of love, because it's all coming from the remembrance of unification, unity, and sovereignty. So I hope that covered everything. And it's interesting because I really thought for a long time, Mina, that I had the numbers wrong, that I was not, but I even when I wasn't even trying to receive, I kept receiving that, like, as no, this is in this specific regards. Yes, that's correct. There was a long time that I thought it was just ego, that it took me a long time to accept, and that's why I'm just now sharing what I've received. Because when I stepped into this space with all of these other channels and activators and grid workers, I'm seeing, okay, I knew it was right, like I've known it was right for a little while now, but I still didn't bring it forward, because that's when a lot of people receive that, especially from ego. A lot of people will get triggered and saying, well, why you? Why only 27? But it's just talking about us. I was only asking in regards to what is my purpose. So I am asking about me and those that are connected through the same attunement. There are like so many others. So it's that's just the attunement of purity that I carry. That's it. Um, no, the 27 to make it into 5D. As long as you're working with someone that can activate your codes, then that's all that matters. Purity, us, those of us as purity code carriers, we will, there will be there would be we would either be linked into others that are providing that, or they've worked with someone that has provided that, more than likely, I would say. That's what I'm receiving. But you don't have to. You make it into 5D through just coming online. I feel like if she was not feeling called to move into a space to be activated by one of the 27, then she's going to move into the space to be activated by those that carry the resonant frequency for her. So, which is what's going to really start happening. That's why, yeah, so that's what's happening. Everyone is feeling the call to move into a group, or different groups. Yes, you do not have to be in this space. So if you guys feel like that you need to go and receive from another space, please go and receive from another space. My ability to, I'm going to do this regardless whether anyone's here or not. Of course, having those here assist others. It's just what I offer is very specific in the fact that most other spaces do not have consistent operation like this. Either you would have you would have one-on-one sessions with them, or you would be in a community where you'd have an activation or two a month or something like that. I would say the only difference about mine is that it's like you've got consistent guidance. But if you want to go somewhere else and experience somewhere else, you're more than welcome to, and you can go. But you will recognize most of the same, because I carry, and this is by no means ego, I promise. I carry a majority of, as a purity carrier, I carry access to cosmic, earth, water, and dragon. So I access all of them. Purity carriers have access. So I have an access to codes. I am a wisdom keeper, a code keeper, a code activator. I am also a portal keeper, a gateway, like there's so much. So there's a lot that comes through. So yes, it is. It is intense. And that's why, if that's not your thing, if that's not if it's really not, if you really want less, it's, that it might be better for you to go, or for anyone to go, not you, Mina, for anyone. If this space is too much, it might be best, to join up at another place where there's not as much, because that's why I felt the connection, and moving into this other space with others is, I can really, really, really anchor in there, and it's kind of like not too much. So everything in there is intense because we're all doing the same thing, to some degree. But that's also why in here I'm backing off on the 222, and not doing as much, although what is there is still going to be at the same intensity. Um, but yeah, this space is really, really, really for those that are ready to step up their game, that are really, really ready to take action and responsibility in a way that's going to continuously override um, all all of everything. And of course it's still a learning curve, it'll always be a learning curve, but you definitely, that's why I said even for the investment you definitely get not just your money's worth out of it, but you get your exchange of energy. You have access to all of you in this space, all of you. And sometimes that's a bit much for people, but that's, that's just the way it is. So but yes, just to give you a reflection for other spaces that are paid month to month, yeah, you usually, as you reflected, you're usually only meeting a couple of times a month. So and then access to other products and stuff like that. So yeah. So, and I mean, I want to make that clear. And I know Christy just joined. If you guys feel like you would like to go receive activation from anywhere else, then please do so. You do not have to stay here. If you feel like you want to go experience somewhere else, please do so. Um, no, water codes. Lemurian. Lemurian is an interdimensional plane, and it was also a realm on this plane of water. Merkin, like the merman and aquamarian, aquafarian. That's water codes, and water codes is we think about it for this realm. Water is a very significant element for this realm. Other realms, maybe air would be more so. They wouldn't have water. So the air element or the fire element might be more significant. Water is a very significant element here. So water codes are also a reflection of crystallized codes. So water in its purest form, not in as we know it as H2O, but in its purest form, like in its highest form, concentrated form, crystalline form, in like watermelon, is crystalline. So it carries a lot more information, and it's also not purely solid. It's not purely liquid. So it's both. And the dragon codes, those are different points of creation. Dragon energy is some of the highest creation energy. That's why the dragon mother ascended master creatrix energy, that's something where I feel if you're, I would guide you to feel into that as energy. So codes are vibrations. They are activated through like vibration. So each of you carries through your heart access to your crystalline DNA, your God source DNA, your coded DNA of light. This is what gives you full access to your light body, your light rays. So not just going in and doing a meditation and accessing the Merkaba through meditation. I'm talking about actual, truly shifting what we have been doing from organic DNA into crystalline DNA. So the chambers of the heart are the access point. You go into 0 point, and then you start activating from that point, and this activates because each of you specific makeup. You're just going to carry one more than the other, a little bit more. So you might be more heavy in water than you are in dragon, or you might be more heavy in water and earth than you are. So water and earth for this one especially, I mean, think about it. That's our incarnate experience. We are connected into the earth plane, and water is our greatest element. So the codes, so that you have your experience here, activation truly is exactly, it's activation. So you activate your DNA so that you can experience a realm that is connected into these points of coding, your frequencies. That's why Lemuria and Atlantis internal planes were accessible through gateways. And so it's a gateway. It's a gateway. So you travel the gateways instantaneously. Thank you, Christy. Thank you. And you're so welcome, Mina. You travel the gateways through access of super consciousness activation, which speaks the intelligence of the chambers. That's why in this space, the reason why the exchange and the intensity of it is because I can access all of those chambers equally. For me, my cosmic and stellar portals, all of that came online first, along with the dragon, because those for me are my two major, but I do have a good balance of the other. I would say that water was probably the last, but it's also the one in terms of just a 3D connection. I can connect, like I've told you, connect with water, make it move, make it vibrate, create waves, because that is an extension of my heart. So when I connect, I'm connecting from that 0 point, from that place of just being in a state of love and gratitude for the pure connection, just simple energy connection. And that's what it is. So you are energy. Everything about you is energy. Underneath this, which you are projecting, all this is right here is a projection. Everything underneath it is what creates this. And as you are shifting into the new realm, you must have access. If you're really wanting to have like the full-blown integrated from 0 point access, that's your mastery from this realm. If you guys remember me speaking into that going to 0 point again and again and again, I even made a post about it. I think a couple of posts. That's how you graduate, because that's how you activate, and that's how you ascend. So you have an opportunity, depending on how far you want to go in this lifetime. You don't have to go all the way to master teacher for it to be a graduation. So long as you are letting go of anything that connects you to fear, then your legacy is left through that connection of the flow. Remember the vibration outwards of always pumping, activating. So the degree at which this happens is based on you, always. And that's, and it took me a while. It took me a while to accept even my own role, because there were so many times that people would send me messages, and they were saying, it wasn't worded to sound hateful, but the energy behind it was super aggressive, as in like, why you? Like, it was so aggressive, and it made me just like, for a while I would shrink back, like, I'm sorry that this is me. That it was that inner child that connected to the trauma that was like, I didn't share a lot of what I did for the first 4 years because I was so scared to, because nobody believed me. And if I said what I was, I got aggression. People didn't, there was no receivership there. But I also realize now why, because I was expressing it from a place of truth, but that truth was still coming from a place of fear. Like, I was afraid of it. I didn't want it. And that's something I know I've told you guys a lot, but I didn't want it. I didn't. I didn't, because it scared me, because people didn't want me to say it. People didn't want to hear it. So I didn't know how to help people from a place where people felt like I was somehow better than them or above them, because that made me cry. Like, I'm not. I'm not. I'm by no means anything other than just me. And the perception of that I know now, of course, was coming from a place of their own inability to see their light, because your light and my light are equal. It's just you have a purpose, and I've discovered mine. I'm not speaking about you guys, I'm speaking in general. I've discovered mine, and I knew what my purpose was from the very moment of my awakening. That also made it worse. It made it much worse, because I didn't know what to do with it, and I ran from it for 4 years. Thank you. Thank you, Christy. But I say this because I know that it can be, I know sometimes, because when I speak, I come from a place of absolute. Like that, my truth I know is absolute. I don't run from it. I don't hide from it anymore. And I definitely do not dim my light so that other people won't feel accepted, because that's not my job. My job is to help you find your light by being the brightest light of my light that I can. If my light is not shining at the brightest, then I am not my sovereignty and my truth, which means if you don't have that guidance, like people that I was surrounded, they wanted me to help them all the time, but none of them knew. I think I've said this a few times. Like the comment from one of the sisters was, I just don't know what to do with you. Like, I was a co-founder of a group, and the comment was, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to present you to people. So let's just sit you to the side. But I need you to be there for me all the time, right? So yeah, it was difficult, because that's I think some might think that having access to that stuff is an amazing thing. It is. I love it. I'm so grateful for it now, because I have learned how to honor it. But I learned how to honor it through honoring myself and allowing others to discover what they are without shying away from it. Like, if you're in any state of fear, any of this is going to feel like it's challenging you, when the only thing that's happening is you're challenging you. So I sharing what I've shared, just so you guys know, I've never when I shared into that stuff earlier last year, and yeah, the disgust was really intense, but I didn't stop. You guys noticed that. I was just like, yep, I trust my channel, and if that's what I'm receiving, it makes me uncomfortable, because I can feel how other people are uncomfortable. But at the same time, I was grateful, because I knew that each of you, although there are 27 of us in that dynamic, there are more that hold the same code, just at a different attunement. So I want to make that very clear. It doesn't mean that you don't have access to all of the same things, but how are you going to know unless you step into it? Like, that's the thing. Because if you shy away from it thinking that, well, I don't fall into that category, that category is just an overlighting aspect of one point of coding. Just a one point. There's 27 of us in that one aspect. There are hundreds of thousands of others. So that means so much to me. Thank you, Christy. Thank you. Because I feel when people are resistant to receiving the words, instead feel that. And it's of course, for me, it's like I recognize where it's coming from. But you got to remember, when I channel, I'm channeling based on what I'm asking in regards to my service, my purpose. So it's coming from it's aligned to that. It's not asking. I'm not asking for all the codes and all the layers and all the pyramid structures for everyone else. I'm asking for myself, because that's, that's what I need to be asking for. Um, so thank you, Christy. Thank you so very much for that. That really, really means a lot to me, because there's, you know, I know that. Well, thank you. I'm not gonna say what I was gonna say, but thank you. I feel where there would just that would not be good. So I thank you, 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 thank you. That means so much to me. I'm really, really excited to see the expansion of this pod, because I can feel how it's changing. I can feel how the dynamic is changing, and I can feel how this is opening up and allowing others to be drawn in space where. So there's going to, like I said, I want everyone to receive what is here for them. If you feel like this is a space that you want to continually stay in, I would love that, because I get to do it with some of the people that I love the most. But if you want to go receive from another, please do. It's not, I don't want anyone to feel like they have to be here, especially if what's here is more than what you're really wanting. Um, it's always about everything that's shared here is just me sharing. This is basically like me sharing notes in a journal. I'm coming on here and I'm just sharing what's here, and I'm channeling what's here, like what I would do for myself. So it's specifically attuned to this pod because each of you are invested here. So it's to support the space and the portal of that. And we'll charge my phone a bit. And so if you're one where you are not used to really allowing the fullness of yourself without feeling some resistance through that, then it might, I can definitely feel where that could be overwhelming, especially with when people are first getting started. But what this is serving is a very high purpose. It's allowing others to see that they can actually come in and not just receive, but activate their light and master. Like, you get everything in this space, everything. And that's again where the different levels are coming in, because the mastery part of it is really going to start shifting into the 277 and 311. Not that that's not available in the 222. It will through you, but I mean intensity with which it is spoken into will be relegated to those two, simply because there's just that's just the way I'm being guided. So if you're still in the 222, obviously you guys know what's here. It's just going to be a little bit less, and yet that's still a very, very good bit. Like, that's still a lot. So, and I'm just love you. It is. It's like my diary. It's like it's like my journal. I keep a journal with all my codes and everything. I actually had a beautiful sister in the other space. She was like, "So when's your book coming?" She was like, "Really need to do a book and release a book on all of this, because." And honestly, I you guys know I talked about that I didn't finish my book. I'm charging my phone. But I did start one of 3 that I told you guys about, the exponential soul, which was supposed to be based on the codes and the experience at the human level, the codes and the experience at the cosmic level, the codes, gateways, all of that at the universal level. So at the time, my ability to invest in that from a place of where it is now was, of course, not there. I wasn't ready for it. But through what's coming through now, it's taken on a completely new tonality. And I can see where it's not going to be just, I don't even like the word book. It's going to be it's something I talked about last year. It's a codex for the wisdom of the ages, the new wisdom of the ages. So it's a codex, it's not a book, which is very different. It's not about just sitting down and reading it. Obviously, you can be activated through books, but this would be very, very specific, so that those that actually invest in it are those that are called to it, would be those that are really like you guys that are doing this kind of work, and those, and it's gonna pull them further into it. Absolutely, Becca, like a portal. So it would be a portal. Each one would be a portal into your highest human self. The next one would be the portal into your highest cosmic self, and then your highest universal self, with all the different levels in between. Yes, codex, absolutely. That's what I've received. Like I've got notes on it, like everything. So yeah. So I can feel now where this is expanding, and I'm also feel like it's not meant to be done alone. I will be including, more than likely, the works of others, or so just keeping that open and letting everyone know that. So if you are one that is, if you already scribe and anchor and tap into stuff like that and channel, and even if you're just beginning that, something to keep in heart. What you bring through might be necessary, and that's the bigger picture. So that's also why Isis, like today, Isis, Osiris, Ra, Hathor, and Anubis are coming through. And the Anubis was the one that was very, very, very adamant about this. This is not a book, this is a codex. And we are all working through you at all different levels. That's what this is all about, is all of the ascended masters that I am attuned to, all of the different galaxies, the different portals, the different gateways. I'm going to be writing about the linguistics, the codes, the language. So it's like the new human, and how the new human is being born from those other gateways. So, and a lot of this I'm receiving right now as I'm speaking it. I'm being activated. So that's really cool. That's awesome. And I feel honestly like our space is opening itself up to receive more like of course everyone that joins is like us, but I do feel like there are going to be more that are really invested in this, that are going to be coming in. Get out. That's amazing, Christy. Oh my goodness. We have so many similarities coming through, don't we? Super connected. I love that. The new human is being born through each of you right now. That's why, like, this is like, you guys see how, like, for me when I'm coming live and how I'm speaking into it, it's just so much more lighthearted and so much more fun. And I feel like those of you that hang around and stay here are really feeling that and are choosing that from a place of not taking it so seriously. Like, you're in this for the bigger picture. You're in this to fulfill your highest purpose, but you're doing it from a place of joy, freedom, fun. You know what I'm saying? That's amazing, Becca. Oh my goodness. You guys, if you guys feel comfortable dropping anything into the WhatsApp group about that, we'll see. I will drop in what's come through for me, and yeah, we'll see. I think that was going to activate us even more. So Anubis was very clear. It's actually why I was very, very specific, and this is what I kept speaking into to him. Even though he didn't listen, the connection into any of the old teachings is completely being rewritten through us. So anything that we connect into that as a point of reference, that's amazing. If you're just like, you see it and you're like, oh, that's, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I was connecting. But it's not like a point of anchor for you. It's just a reflection of like the universe just reflecting to you what your intuition is already showing you. Um, Absolutely. Absolutely, Christy. And oh, that's amazing, Becca. That's amazing. Anubis, I'm not surprised by that. Anubis is one that's Anubis's energy is very strong and very, when he's there, he's bringing a message. Like, him being the guardian of the underworlds is for a very specific reason as well. It's always with a purpose, because his energy is about, he's taking you through your life reviews, and he is a beautiful interdimensional in between teacher. And so he is always assisting in that balance. So if you're ever trying to connect to him from a place that is corrupt or distorted, he simply won't come through for you. Actually, most won't. But his energy, like, it's what he's that's what he's expressing through me, because he signifies lessons and learning. And so if you are not on a path of fulfilling something from a place of like transcending a lesson, then he's going to pull, but not, I'm not gonna, you're gonna. So he's a very strong, a very beautiful masculine. I just feel it. I just so solid. That's the best way I can describe it. And very stern, but of course that stern is coming from a place of unconditional love. Yeah, Becca, and that's something you've got to learn. That's why I say distractions are keeping you from your truth, right? The distractions are just simply that when you feel that you're wanting to be distracted, or distractions are coming through for you, it's because in that moment, that's when you're needing to actually be fully focused. So Anubis, Ra, Isis, Hathor, Osiris, all coming through. And we're about to sink into that. I also have a citrine here. So if anyone wants to go grab I'm feeling guided to ask you guys, I should have dropped this in WhatsApp, but I didn't. So I am going to go inside really quickly. I need to use the bathroom before we get started. And I'm going to let my phone charge a little bit more. So I actually need to make sure it is charging. If you guys want to go grab a crystal, that would be beautiful. And I need to give me 1 second, because my battery has actually been draining, like the charger's been draining my battery. So I'm just so I'm going to run really quickly. I will be right back. Go grab your crystal or whatever you have. If you don't have a crystal, just get an object that you can, that you feel connected to. This time, we're not going to be just sending energy into it. We're just going to be having it there as a connection point energetically, a support. So find something in your environment that you feel is most aligned to serve that purpose. And I will be right back. Okay, everyone, I'm back. So, thank you. Yeah, I know. I feel you. Like, I went drinking a ton of water. I woke up this morning. I could feel that I was being activated. So my throat was a bit scratchy and just felt a little bit blah for a second. But actually, interestingly enough, I didn't feel it like I normally would in the old way. Like I knew it was happening, but it didn't like shut me down all the way. So, which means it might have just been like a more minor activation. Especially coming on the heels of everything that we've been bringing through. So, not surprised that it came through. I've been feeling just a real expansion happening through me, which is no surprise. Connecting into another group of those that are doing the same thing. That's what, and then that's pouring over into here. So everything that I get from that space is coming into here. And it's coming through my specific channel, which it's coming through y'all's specific channel too. I don't want to say that way. I feel like that's kind of, I don't like how that sounded, but I'm bringing everything over. And interestingly enough, everything that's there is here. That there really is nothing there that we have not already been moving through here, honestly. It's just we're just integrating it, right? We are just doing the work together. Yeah, I've been actually having a lot of stuff coming up on my skin, Becca, especially through these last few activation points. So I've had a lot of stuff moving up. It's another reconstruction of the molecular. So the skin or everything is reconstructing, which means anything that is of a lower density is coming to the surface and moving its way out. So we actually had the same thing happen, Christy. We just had a major front move through, and that brought with it tons of wind. Yeah, not surprised, Becca, because all of that they're programmed densities like ringworms, pimples, cysts. These energies that are there to drain, right? Or they're blocking or draining. So they are going to move through when there is no longer a place for them to access. So that's another thing about this activation of this vessel in this way is there's nothing like that will be able to access you. I do not I used to get those all the time, and I don't like the only thing that comes up for me is when my skin is moving through an upgrade, when my body's moving through an upgrade like we have been. My skin, like I post in the WhatsApp group, gets really sensitive, and there's pockets like cysts, not full-blown cysts, but like pockets where the tissue is undergoing molecular reconstruction, which I'm feeling is definitely what you're moving through. And so, but it's going to take a form that's very similar. So that's why you guys are having these reactions. The only way that the vessel can project this reaction to this molecular reconstruction is by bringing a pocket of energy up to this. It gets stuck momentarily and then it clears. So just allow it to move through, just knowing that everything experience such things. You're going to have those sensations. You're going to have those response mechanisms, if you will. I feel that the ringworms for you, Becca, if you can, I'll send you some frequencies to help support that. Take a bath in milk. Take a bath in milk, just milk. Maybe some water too. But take a bath in milk. And it'll pull them out. And once it pulls them out, then you can drain it and they're gone. Let's go ahead and start moving into the latter part of the transmission. Welcome, Luke. Yes, actually, I'm glad you said that, Luke, because I've got a video I'm going to send you guys in WhatsApp. I've actually been using, and I've been working on. So I want to give a little bit of insight. I'm going to drop it. It's a cleansing and clearing of the lymph system. But what's happening with those of you? Yes, again, thank you, Mina. Papaya seeds. Yes. Papaya seeds, a beautiful, and lymph massage. So those are really good support mechanisms. And I want to give you guys some insight as to, again, what's happening. You guys heard me, you guys saw me drop in WhatsApp that the prefrontal cortex is undergoing upgrades. The central nervous system, prefrontal cortex, hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal. This is all I'm. So this means the nodes, the systems of glands and nodes are also undergoing massive purge, because when they upgrade, all the energy that they were able to support at the lower vibration, well, that can't be supported at the higher vibration. So any energy that was stored of the lower vibration is going to move. That's why you have the sensations of sore throat or feeling just a little bit kind of under the weather, so to speak, because you're shifting from one phase of energy to another phase. So you move through the quantum, which can be, in that sense, can be somewhat uncomfortable. But eventually that won't happen. Like I don't go through that and that to that degree anymore. It might hit, but it's not as intense. So as these are undergoing upgrades, you've got to allow for the energy to actually transition. So you're going to have any remnants that are going to come through. You might just not shut it down, because you want it to go through what it needs to go through, but to support it. I don't want to say counteract it, I'm sorry. What you can do to support it in moving through with the greatest ease to you. So, okay. So thank you for joining, Luke. So grateful to have your energy with us. It's beautiful to have a balanced masculine joining us, a masculine that is open, receptive. So thank you. So as you guys know, I took you all into 0 Point the other day. This was a transmission that's not public. It's for my group space. So we are going to move to 0 Point. I'm not going to do it to the depth at which we did it the other day, because each of you in my group space know how to do it, so you can connect. But we are going to do it. So Luke, I would just invite you to step into this to the greatest of your ability. And when we move into 0 Point, I am going to be speaking light to activate from that place, but also I'm going to be channeling from that space. So it's going to hold an even wider berth of experience and activation. And I normally do, but I've never actually given insight as to that's what's happening, and I've realized that I probably need to do that and allow you guys to tap into that, so that way you can feel the of it and really feel yourself immersed as above and so below. So let's go ahead and start taking a few deep breaths. I'm going to leave my phone right here for right now so that my phone can charge, and I will move it up momentarily. Just taking a few deep breaths and dropping into your body, connecting to your body. And a beautiful way to do this, as always, I know, look at those rays, right? It's beautiful. Is to, trying to see, hand on your heart. Or both hands on your heart. I've actually got both hands on my heart. I know you guys can't really see it, but I've got both hands on my heart. There we go. So just feeling your heartbeat feeling the rise and the fall of your chest. And just really connecting with your own physical form. Honoring this moment, honoring all that you are, allowing yourself to be bathed in your light, in your presence, in your awareness. Just continue taking a few more long, deep breaths. And as you guys can see, I've got the sun to my back. It feels amazing. And I'm going to be transmitting again from my solar gateway connection. So you guys, we connected into the children of purity. The children of purity, that's an attunement for me as a purity carrier, which allows you this connection point from this place, allows you to recognize that connection point through you. Whereas if, let's say, you had not chosen to step into this path, or you had chosen not to step into the space, you might not have connected in that experience, that feeling. The feeling is the key. The feeling holds the remembrance. And the remembrance is showing you where you're either holding a limited belief of mind, or you're expanding into a new belief of heart, which is a remembrance of what is your highest point of truth. And so it lies outside of the mind, it lies outside and beyond time. So as you're taking these deep breaths in, I want you to envision that you are inhaling light and exhaling any and all resistance. Imagine as you breathe in that you are a miniature sun, and the breath of life gives you an opportunity to just glow, shine brighter and brighter and brighter. So each breath in, you get brighter. Each exhale, releasing any resistance to that capability. And the exhale also brings you deeper into your body. It sinks you deeper into the experience. That's how and why it releases resistance. So I would like for you now, if you don't already have your stone or your object, please go ahead. I'll try to make sure I stay live here, you guys. Probably the sun, so I might have to block it out for a moment. So I would like for you to hold it in both hands and hold it up to your heart like so. So between the heart and higher heart. And just another deep breath in. Dropping into your body even deeper. And now I'm going to call each of you energetically to meet me in the heart. And if you are open to moving energetically in this way, please state yes at this time. Acknowledging that you are moving, receiving, and accepting from within your highest good and your highest point of light. And now, I want you to tune into your heart. I want you to feel yourself immediately connect there. There is no time, there is no distance. As soon as you are aware of your heart space is aware of you. So I would like for you to just witness yourself now in this connection. Feel it solidify. And continue breathing into the heart. Now, I want everyone to start to notice the dial. You've got a dial on your heart. And this dial goes from, we'll say 0.2 or 0.5, whichever one you prefer, to 10. I would highly recommend starting in the 0.2 to 0.5 for 0 point. It can be quite intense on the body, especially when you come into what we call zero gravity. So the experience, depending on how deeply you are attuned to that, dialed in, will depend on you. But as those of you in the space know, it can be quite intense. So start slow, and then you can always dial up. So as you are now connected into the dial of your heart and you've got your dial set, I want you to become aware that this dial is connected into your crystalline heart, your central cavern, which is the energy between the heart and higher heart. Those of you that have traveled to the central caverns, the central sun of Terra, this is the miniature aspects of that. There's so much carried within this cavern energetically. But in order to get there, we must first go into zero gravity, and then we go into the caverns. So I want you to just be connected to that dial. And I'm going to call in the so below energy and the as above energy to assist in holding the space and accompanying me in working the grids. And if any of you would like to connect into the grids, Mina, like you've already practiced this, you may connect in with me and join with me. It will only heighten the experience. Now, I'm going to go ahead and extend a filament, a thread from the heart space. And this thread, it is a cord, if you will, that connects us, which will assist you in experiencing this a little bit deeper, a little bit more. So I would like for you to tune into this white diamond platinum thread with hints of silver, gold, and rainbow. And just feel yourself connecting into this thread. Beautiful. I'm definitely feeling a few of you connecting. So So once you are connected and ready, we are going to move from there. And I want you to become aware that we are connecting into a grid space as well, your grid space of light, your grid space of ascension. So you are going to be accessing and anchoring from within the one ascending timeline of the heart. So you may notice either during this transmission or after this transmission where a lot of things start to shift in reality, and it'll be subtle. For some, it might be more noticeable depending on your awareness. For others, it might be more subtle, but there will be things that will always be consistently shifting. You might feel waves of energy passing through you for a good little bit afterwards as well. The energy it vibrates from the heart and outwards. So just allow yourself to flow with the energy. If it gets too intense and you feel like you need to back out, tap your heart 3 times. That is the signal to drop from 0 point back into your body. Okay. So now that everyone is connected, calling in the as below golden timelines of Lemuria and Atlantis through the central caverns of Terra, of Gaia. And overseeing the as below, I hear Anubis. So Anubis, below. I'm already starting to feel it. I feel myself being pulled. So, so, Somaru Akuta, Somaru Akuya. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, feel your energy going down. So I'm going to work on anchoring, grounding everyone in. There we go. Now, calling upon my higher self and the eternal inner child. So calling upon the higher self for everyone in the space, for everyone connected into this, and your eternal inner child, which is your, we'll say it's your little star seed, but I also like eternal inner child. It's your eternal child of light. So call that in. Just in this instance, all we have to do is say, I call in my higher self and I call in my eternal child of light. So I'm going to turn the dial up a little bit for the as below. Beautiful. Beautiful, everyone. Beautiful. Can really feel the vibration. I don't know if each of you are feeling vibration. Now in the as above, I also feel that the earth mothers and earth fathers are working with Anubis. And as above, we have the star mothers, dragon mothers, and Ra. So just take a deep breath in as I connect into both even higher. Heya kana sakeya kuya kuya hira tiasuno de kuna sutio ash harak arak undak ki karak an akarak an e karak dishana satu akoma. Thank you. Now let's turn up the dial a little bit for us above. Thank you. Holding the space, opening the space opening the portal so that everyone is able to really dig in and feel this. Just continue to take deep breaths. Now, from 0 point, I'm going to move into the chambers of the heart. And I'm being guided to the dragon code. So now I see why the dragon mothers joined. So tapping into and calling down the anchor of the dragon codes, opening up that chamber of the heart, and I'm being guided to acknowledge that each of the ascended masters will be speaking as one through the channelings of the codes. There will be a message that will come shortly. But we are going to anchor in these activated codes, and I'm being asked to invite you all to take a journey. So, Éoaccí Éin allow yourselves to float on the waves of light, calling in now your highest frequency of embodied sovereignty. I call in now my highest frequency of embodied sovereignty. And just feel that anchor. And going to open up the As Above channel. And I'm also going to call in Metatron as a and I'm going to just take a moment. Kodashwadiya Kuyana Saku Daroshana Sona Neshiaku Laikui Suku Laquis and Quick A Kuruk Ark Dork Ark Mashkuya Sotosh. So I want you to tune into your heart, tune into the caverns of the heart. I want you to, with your hands over your heart, with your crystal there, I want you to feel yourself connecting crystal to crystal. There is a crystal in your heart, a central cavern. This is a portal, this is a gateway, and there is everything that is necessary and needed for you to gain through your activated body of light. It is held within these caverns. And I would also like for you to call upon your keepers, your record keepers. So for those of you that have a pen and piece of paper with you, I would like for you to take note of what comes through. If you do not have a pen and paper, it's okay. Don't go and get it. It's okay. But I would like for you to follow me really quickly if you don't. Having your hands on your heart, I would like for you to speak these words. I invoke my remembrance from this space beyond time. I invoke my remembrance in this space beyond time. I invoke my remembrance in this space beyond time. Allowing all that comes through for you to be carried through and to continue to come through with you with clarity and assuredness within your intuitive channel. So I have a lot moving through as I've said that as well. I'm going to give that a moment. Again, I'm hearing dragon code 7224. So we've touched on 7224 already. That's the code that's being activated. Coding. So I'm going to begin weaving these codes from the channel. So you may feel some movement in your field, and you're welcome to tap in and speak light or sing light or join with me in whatever feels natural for you. This will heighten and enhance your experience and allow you to tap in and dial in even greater. If you have a pen and piece of paper, scribe it. Roya koya nia soya. Ye kotai kumaturu kunia ni. Runa soya kotaro toshikatona pakate koya kia. Garia kunia soya na sotia. Ruto. Goya, Drup, Goya, Dark, no, Shikia, Koyati. Jaturukuma, Joya, Koya, Sakataya, Koti, Koyana, Rodo, Ina Sotoriki, Koyana, Ruktush, Kiana, Ruktush, Aruk Oyaka, Uruk nek Gia. Ratashania no maso ya yaki. Odoya sono kiokia. Jatiokia. Jadaru anomazo ya ni siata. Ishania sotiokia tarakiokia. Janazo, Inazo. So I would like for you to see, feel, hear whatever is most aligned for you. How these codes are expressing themselves through you. For me, they're like rays of music, but a little different in terms of music. They're like keys, and when those keys hit my field, they cast a certain frequency. Them, I can hear them, I can see them based on that. And so it's about this geometric weaving and anchoring. So who's that? I see Merlin joining in the third eye. Shayonai Guruk Aru Ana Jano A Zano I Zano A Zadu Unokuyaru Ana Ina Soti Kuyash Zio Keonai Ukionai Ikionai Jondoruku A Inu A Ino A. Take a deep breath. And anchor into the codes. Allow the codes to anchor into you. And I'm going to ask all energies present that are assisting to oversee the anchoring for each, working with the higher. Really feeling a lot of energy opening up and the cosmic cycle, the spine, and the frontal cycle of energy, the cosmic orbit. And it feels kind of like being sucked into a black hole right now. So asking to turn up the dial a little bit and expand the space, as above, so below, calling in the assistance for that. Shuti no 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 yana 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 yana. And asking now for calibration of the codes within the anchors of the grid and through each cavern, connected to each code, connected to each energy body. So calling in a calibration of each body to calibrate to the activated sequence. So you might begin to feel, you might begin to feel the energy starting to vibrate from the heart outwards. You're going to start feeling the calibration happening. Just take a few deep breaths. It might start to intensify. I can feel it intensifying. So allowing this to sit, boot, stop, stop, sit. So allowing everything to calibrate. Sit. Beautiful. I see rainbow light coming out from the cavern. And there are just so many geometric symbols, which I am seeing them as portals. So these portals are moving through me, and I am just connected and activating and channeling, and each of you are connected into that through the heart. Shai kuya dara shana 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 shana. Na yo no 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 ya na ya no ya na ya no ya na. So now I'm going to bring forth a channeled message, speaking as one voice from the Ascended Masters. You might start to feel, I feel like I'm being lifted up. You might start to feel a lot of energy in your higher heart, a lot of prickling, a lot of energy moving. And just take a deep breath. And let us begin. Geishatuya. Inaya kuya na kuya zaikas is. Ziniate yokonado. Laro ro amako ari ados atarak una umakuya. Inasatai shoto shato anashoto. Ziniana zana zana kuiniati. Makoro kuya zakui. Zatai kai ai kui an asotos. Inaku aru kunazo. Leila lu aku lala sonazo. Greetings, beloved souls. Once again, this gathering is so beautiful to witness. We celebrate each of you and your blueprint of divine design. We meet you now in the heart as we always do and as we always will. As we speak these frequencies, you may begin to feel the energy moving through your body, pulling you upwards. We are speaking frequencies that are guiding your energy into a collective union, into a sequential vibrational collaboration. This is allowing you to conjoin, to meld, to flow, to come together as a symphony orchestra of love. Zoyatai shkui ni azodu nasai kuti zakomaroro a laru amazu kanasi jena ina kumado aso lelalo lo andoro arulu andoro alulu andoro gado asuka. There's so much happening right now in your cellular, in your neural network, and we are just enjoying and celebrating the expansion. We are watching the symphony as each of you are recalibrating. The message that we bring for you is a message of joy, prosperity, peace. Geshtadanumaku ashtum. Inasukairu as suna as shatai ana Speaking in a calibration, speaking in a tonality of activation, and allowing each of you to just flow in signature resonance to find your harmonic your harmonic signature, your harmonic resonance. Finding yourself flowing from one note of light into the next. Feeling yourself connecting with one note, one joy, one love, one peace, one unity. Right now, there is a new wave that is moving through, and this is happening. This is happening because each of you is choosing to anchor through the heart. So there is a wave of recalibration that is flowing through the collective. And this wave is calling each soul into a higher point of awakening. And we are so grateful to each of you for being present, for joining in harmony, and for choosing to open yourself up and allowing the flow of purity, of love, of your sovereignty to set the stage for others. Shanazuki akumaru aru akuma. Zanaki kuti asoti akoyana. We would like for each of you to tune in now as each of you are connected to your own grid. We would like for you to see what comes through for you as we speak these frequencies of guidance. We would like for each of you to recognize that you are planting seeds, and these seeds are blossoming through you again and again and again. Your DNA is the flower. Your DNA is continuously activated through these seeds of awareness that you are planting. Look now. Look now to the seeds that you are planting. Look now to your grid. Think of this as a garden that you are tending. What are you planting? What does your garden look like? What codes are most present? Are they galactic, cosmic, solar, dragon, water, earth? And if you feel that you need assistance with this, please ask your record keeper to assist you. For your record keeper will guide you through your own remembrance, allowing you to tap into and tune into what is here for you. You may call upon your record keeper at any time, but please do this from a place of 0 point. This is where you will gain direct access. Right now, we are just being shown that each of you are receiving downloads. So we are going to take a moment and we are going to speak light. And these downloads are in conjunction to the seeds that you are planting in the garden that you are tending. So please become aware of your grid space. And we are going to speak the tonalities of light that assist in activating these downloads. Kui kuya 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 nai 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 shotoya kuya 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 uk aruk a shan an unashku asuno asuno lelo lola kono lalo ana kolala unazo ina satu na una azota na una azota. We see the blue ray, indigo ray, turquoise ray, violet ray. The downloads are coming through these rays. Garaiki Nazia kura rak ora. Zaana. Ja'a. Give yourself a moment to tune in to these energies. Allow the vibration to acclimate, resonate. And now, take your hands together, rub your hands, and then place them down to the side. You might feel a sensation equally on both sides, or you might actually notice where one side is vibrating a little bit stronger than the other will catch up. This is allowing you to further ground and anchor into the light, into the codes, allowing the download to really stream in. Opening up, we are seeing the sacral. So we are now going to step aside. We wanted to come through in our signature frequency to bring forth this enhanced open so that we could assist in supporting the channel and assist in supporting the incoming frequencies. We will now step back, rejoining the light within. Thank you, Adonai, and so it is. So just allow yourself. I can actually feel my throat is undergoing a very, very large activation right now. So is my upper chamber. This might be happening for some of you. I'm not for sure. but I'm going to take a moment and just allow everything to solidify. And I'm being shown, and I'm even feeling, and there's a lot of restructuration from these solar plexus that's taking place. So really intense, like gutting through here, if you will. It almost feels like it's, again, being sucked in like a black hole. So everything is being completely reconstructed and reconfigured. So I'm just going to call in and work within balancing this for everyone. And if you feel that it will assist you, always speak light, scribe light, sing light, and call in any further assistance and guides or light beings that you feel may assist you as we finalize this transmission. So I'm going to go ahead and do one final attunement, turning up the dial really quickly, and calling in a reconfiguration of all glands, organs, and central nervous system. And now going back down a little bit. Beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start pulling out now. There's a lot that just came through, a lot that needs to further integrate and calibrate. So go ahead and take a few deep breaths. At any time that there is a lot of calibration that is happening. So let's go ahead and start working our way back out. We've been here for a good bit of time and space. So take a few deep breaths, start turning your dial back down, start easing your way back down. For me, I feel this suction. Calling in balance, calling in balance. It feels like being sucked in from like a black hole, like I'm coming back in through a black hole. Calling in the assistance for the calibration as we come out of zero, to move out of it gently. Take it easy as you're coming out. Beauty breaths. You don't want to. It's an energetic shift from zero gravity back into physicality. So as you're coming back in, just feel yourself returning back into physical form. And I give so much love and thanks to all of the Ascended Masters and the energies that joined, to the Earth Mothers, Earth Fathers, to Anubis, to Ra, to Isis, to Osiris as above and in between, to the Star Mothers, the Dragon Mothers. Thank you so very much. And thank you to all energies that were assisting. Thank you to each of you. I'm going to go ahead and unplug this and put this back up. Thank you to all cosmic energies and to all supporting energies. There was a lot of, like I said, assistance. So just start coming back and kind of tuning into your body, kind of moving your body, moving around. And when you feel that you are ready, you can let me know in the comments how you're feeling and when you're back. And if you would like to share anything that came through, please do. And that was a beautiful, I felt so much. Oh my goodness. Like when I was dialing down, it literally felt like I was everything, like we're moving through dimensions when that happens. So I felt myself, all of everything, like almost like a cartoon. Like I was being pulled from my heart and I was being pulled through the dimensions energetically. And then I arrived back in my body. So we were out of our body, traveling through dimensions, and your energy is pulled back through. And I see all of these different gateways. I can see all the different gateways. That's awesome. So a lot of you were connecting into different gateways, and I left that open so that you could just see what was there for you. I wanted you to really tune into that, and allow yourself to see what was there for you, leaving it open to just allowing the coding to express through you. And oh wow, that's interesting. I just noticed I've been having this tightness and it's not there. That's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's amazing. So just feeling just feeling so light and so just amazing right now. I'm going to take a moment. It was just 15757. Just to be grateful. Just take a moment and be grateful for everything that you received, and for everything that was here for you. And I'm going to go ahead and disconnect everyone from the heart, returning you back fully to you and your energy. It was always you and your energy, but just going to disconnect that heart space. That's amazing, Becca. Amazing. Oh, that's a beautiful, Mina. I felt it. I felt it. That's that energy that was like when it was speaking through me. When I was coming back through the dimensions, I can feel like that's, yeah, I can feel that's where that was coming from. Yes. And it felt like, yes, yes, yes. I am. Oh my goodness. I love you guys so much. That is so beautiful. So beautiful, Becca. So beautiful, Mina. I know Becca just said she had a lot of scribing. I can't wait to see that. Oh my goodness, you guys. This just feels so good. like like all I want to do is laugh. And I'm just seeing, oh my goodness, I see this beautiful explosion of light when I close my eyes, and it's just all these different fractals of light going everywhere. And I feel like as soon as you said a new day is here, it was like that was reflected through me as a new day is reborn, and I just saw that. Yes. That means that it was transmuting. If it was pulling out other threads that weren't light, it was assisting in transmuting. I'm hearing that those were aspects of identification of time, and it was assisting in the transmutation of those threads of time. So those timelines. That's what the golden thread really does, is it assists in transmuting all timelines. All cycles of time that are not pure are purified. So each of you that are in the soul pod that have worked with me directly, you have been activated into and through the Magi Grail lines. So the cross of light and higher super consciousness, the Magi Grail, the one timeline, the one thread of creation, which is infinite in its multitudes of vibration. So each of you have that activation through you. Oh, that's beautiful, Luke. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. As a beautiful masculine that is present, I am so grateful that you chose to be here. However you choose to see it, Mina, is beautiful. It's a translucent, if you think of a silken spider web, that's what I see. I see it's like a trends. It's reflective. It's always fractalized. So it's always beautiful. And it's, for me, I see it as like a silken spider web that's always reflecting light, except it's golden with that hints of opalescence. So it's a silken thread, if you will. And spiders are time weavers. So there's that. That's why they weave their designs. If you notice, they're all geometric, and they do them with purpose and specification. I used to be so afraid of spiders, but now I think they're beautiful. Like, I will sit there. I watched one as she was weaving her beautiful design, her web, and below it she had her children, and I was making sure nobody touched it. I was like, don't get near. She's so beautiful. She's been hanging out at our cabin. She's green, like a lime green and yellow. And she doesn't like it when people are near, so she'll go and hide. But I always, when she got her web destroyed, I moved her to a new spot, and she's been hanging out there. Oh, that's amazing. You already knew he was going to tune in, Becca. Did I, Christy? Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome. I'm so glad. Um, yeah, so much. Like, I feel amazing. And I actually was not sure I was going to do this today because of that activation, the way I was feeling when I woke up. But I just reminded my body, like, this is just an activation. We're just receiving an upgrade, and just allowed myself to just flow through the rest of the day, and everything that was taking place. My dad, like I said, had a tooth removed. He had a tooth pulled, so he hasn't necessarily been feeling the best. So I was grateful to come out here and tune into and channel this, because I felt like it was necessary and needed, of course, but it was also a good way to really shift that energy from pain and frustration, which is what he's experiencing, into these golden threads that can start working to alleviate that, which I called in before I came out here. And I just saw the golden threads again. I'm just seeing them, and I'm feeling this is the connection to each of you and like, I'm seeing but they're, this time, that now they're expanding. So they were golden threads, and now they're expanding into rainbow light. So I feel like that's each of you, that's each of us in our connection through the heart. So thank you for receiving. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. And I know we're coming, the 16th is coming up soon. So when the 16th hits, and guess what, it's about to be 333. um yeah, it's oh my goodness, 3333, because my battery is at 93%, which is reduces to 3. Yes, it does, because it's showing you how the density is moving in the quantum, which shows up in your projected reality. So however you're moving through the quantum, you'll directly experience, because it has to move through you. And so I just called in before I came out here, because Bruiser was kind of like, Mom, don't leave me. Mom, don't leave me. Because I was frustrated. So I just called in the shield of Mikael and a golden shield of, um, I just heard Sephora, a golden shield of Sephora, not the makeup. Golden shield of Sephora, and it's the golden shield of this seraphim. So golden shield of Sephora, that's beautiful. That's amazing. Amazing, Becca. I mean, amazing, Mina. Wow, I said Becca. You're so very welcome. So very welcome. Okay, so as you guys know, when the 16th coming up, everything will be shifting. group space, so start looking forward to that if you're feeling like it's a bit much, if it has been a bit much for you. I want you to also remember that only tune in, like only tune in when you can, when it's aligned for you. Never, because when you hold that, when you stand in that space of I'm overwhelmed, it's because you're choosing to overwhelm yourself. You're choosing that. It's not that everything here is overwhelming you. It's that you're showing up with the belief that you have to, or else exists beyond time. So you're always energetically meeting yourself in the receivership for it in the exact now moment that is intended for you. So you're right. You're right, Mina. So I would like for you guys to start relinquishing that limitation where you're feeling that there's just too much going on. Allow yourself to tune in and receive and focus on what is necessary and needed for you. Balance. That's part of the taking responsibility, is learning balance, learning how to embody balance, learning how to balance the masculine and feminine through you, which means learning how to balance your responsibilities. So this also means that you're always receiving the energy, but you'll just tune in through that point of awareness when it's most aligned for you. I love giving, and I love allowing others to be able to receive themselves fully. And so I will always give fully. That's just the way that I am. And so the 222 will, that's really, really the space where you just come and take what is here and necessary and just tune in and just do it as you need to. Just do it as you need to. Okay. Do not try to give yourself a reason to not do it simply because you limit yourself by saying there's too much here, so I got to do it all at once, which makes me feel overwhelmed, which is again something that was chosen. So baby steps, take it in as you feel it is most aligned. The 277 is just going to ask you to show up a little bit more, like these transmissions, even though they're live, show up whenever you want. You don't have to show up when they're live. You should watch them on the replay. The 277, there is going to be a meeting space where that's what's scheduled, right? Same with the 311. So those would be the spaces where you would have a scheduled meeting space. So other than that, the 222 just needs to be about you just coming up and receiving whenever. So that's, you're still mastering, you're still taking responsibility, but your commitment is wholly based on where you feel you can be committed energetically. So everything is always going to be here to support you either way. So that's amazing. Yeah, Luke, I actually wasn't going to go live here. I was going to go live on Facebook. Energetically, it was not aligning, so I came live here. So I'm really, really grateful that I did. I'm really grateful. And energetically, it's just a better, I can stay connected here. Facebook, that's something that was coming through in this other space, the community of these other amazing souls that where we do grid work. That's what we do, is grid work and coding and stuff. That was something that was brought up, was the just getting away from the social media even more. And I felt that, I think many of you have felt that, like over the last couple of months especially, is that, you know, there's like when you drop in there purposefully, then you're going to gain or deliver purposefully, but which allows it to be more organic. Like there's nothing, you're not sitting there and just mindlessly looking for something to save you. For me, that's why I had to pull away, is because I was always looking for something instead of tuning into myself and looking here. So I'm really grateful I did that. And that's, again, what JJ reflected was, when you feel the call to get on social media to try to find yourself, to find all these things that are distracting you. Tune into the space that you have invested yourself in, which is supporting you, because everything you, and that's what I've said as well for our space, is that everything is already there that you need, right? But it's beautiful. I'm not saying don't get on social media. I'm just saying do it with purpose. So, yeah, that's pretty well all I've got for today, man. I really want to sit here and just talk to you guys all day, but it's getting cold. Oh, by the way, one thing I was going to say, it was just 2 1 2 1 2 1, all kinds of threes showing up, which is supporting the dragon coding that came through today. Those are threes, earth codes. Well, dragon earth codes. Next week is going to be insanely cold here. I'm talking about like single digit cold, close to 0 cold. During the day, it's probably going to be, I might be able to come out here. It'll be a bit colder than it is today, but I think I could still do it. But just letting you guys know that there's probably going to be a good chance that next week I will not be as live as I have been, which means there will be more recordings that I will be doing, and those will be available the same way the lives on the replay would be available. So yeah, just letting everyone know ahead of time. So I'm excited because we might get snow. We haven't seen a good snow here in a while, so like I'm super excited. The babies can go play in snow. So yeah, thank you guys. I love you all so much. This has been fantastic. I feel amazing. It seems like every single one of you feel amazing. I feel like collectively, I know collectively, because that was the message. I would not be surprised if you guys start noticing, like I say this so many times, but I just felt it in my yes. So I just, yes, as again, okay. So there will be a reflection of this in the greater collective. I don't know how, but I just received that like in my belly button in the sacral area. So start, just give yourself space, give yourself an opportunity to acknowledge that there might be some rearranging happening in your reality to some happening in you. You guys know this. So because of this, give yourself time, give yourself space, and allow everything to unfold. If anything comes up that is not comfortable, just let it happen. You don't need to take control. You don't need to step in. You don't need to change it. Let it unfold. You just hold the frequency, you hold your light, and just be the assistance in the disbursement of that. That's amazing, Mina. I really do. I feel like, I don't know what it'll be in the collective, but I think that the collective there'll be posts from people recognizing that there was just a wave of energy that moved through the collective, and there was this and this that happened, and I don't know what it'll be, but I do know that that's going to come through. So each of you can be like, I know what that is. I assisted. I was there. I was the point of presence that provided that shift. And not from a place of, and this is another thing I want to leave with you guys, ascended masters, they don't like to be worshipped. That's not the purpose of sacred service. Worship is very much, I know, Christy, I felt it. I felt it begin in the sacral, and then it moved through the heart like a transmutation, and then it just flowed over. Actually, I feel it. No, it began at the heart. It went to the sacral, came back up, and flowed back out. So ascended masters, beings of light, they are just like each of us. We are them. They are us. We are just wearing this meat suit for a little while longer. And that's why religions and everything are so distorted, is because there's this factor of worship. So keep in heart that it's not ever, it's always about that equality, and it's always about that recognition of, you recognize the frequency and you connect with them through that attunement, but they're a part of you. You're one with them. We don't worship them. We simply work with them. That's they're laughing. They're like, haha, play on words. Don't worship us, you work with us. So that was cute. Um, and there's so much more playfulness. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. Like, that's been ever since we started bringing through the eternal child, there's just been this sense of wanting to play more, wanting to laugh more, wanting to smile more, and having just fun with everything. Not letting this be so serious. Because I can feel where myself, where I was like really anchored into the seriousness of it, because it is, it's like, it's serious. It's like seriously happening, and it's seriously a responsibility, but it's not like we don't have to be in a mode of serious about it. um that's amazing. We are so obviously, like, we are each of us so connected, you guys, like, it's not even funny. It is funny, it's amazing. So just keep that in heart. That's just a message they were wanting me to relay, so that you work with them and you're not looking to them as being something separate from you. So I love that, Mina. I can see Sirius too. Like, I can actually see that through you. That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Oh, you guys, it's been a little bit over 2 hours. Does not feel like it at all. It does not feel like it at all. And, I could sit here. Serious? Serious. Right? Why are you looking so serious? You're looking like a serious today, Mina. You're looking very serious. Today you're not looking Andromedan. You're looking so serious. It's amazing. I love you guys. I love it. Thank you for that. And let's commit ourselves that we are, every time that we do this and every moment from here on out, we're doing this and we're having fun. And we are doing this from a place of recognizing that it is a big responsibility in terms of the commitment to the bigger picture, but let's do it from a place of the inner eternal child. Let's have fun. Let's laugh. Let's see what's the best, most wonderful, fantastical adventure that we can go on in the process, and see what else comes from that. Yes. Pleiadians, Syrians, Andromedans, Lyrians, the planet Muir, by the way, which is home to the Zindies, or the Zindies is the linguistic part of it. They're Zendayas, and the Zendayas are akin to like mermen, aquamarine, and this was the seeding of Lemuria is from that planet. That's who came through. That was the day I was supposed to do a one-on-one with Leah, and I was actually talking in the I think it was on WhatsApp, actually. I think we were on WhatsApp already, and I was like, whoa, this is intense. Like, it was intense when that came through, because I had connected with the emerald golden dragons of Avalon, which they are akin. That's the birthplace of the golden dragons of Avalon, which are the part of that same race. You could think of that as the air earth element, or air. I'm being asked to say air. Earth is like, it's like, earth is earth. This is earth, but it's like an air element for there. So the emerald golden dragons are an air element, but they assist in the bringing down the earth conjunction with that. So, but they are the creatorship energy of that realm. So they are one of the crystalline activations for that realm, which is why they're one of the gateways for this realm, connecting us back into those golden timelines. So girls just want to party. Girls just want to have fun. Oh, girls, they want to have fun. I don't sing, but, I had to say that. Okay, Miss Becca. I just saw her message. She had to leave and go to work. You guys. So delve into everything. I've got some more channelings I'll be dropping in the WhatsApp from my notes that came through last year that I am so excited to share with you guys. It's taken me a while to get to the point to where I was able to open myself up and share this stuff with everyone. So I am looking forward to that because I know that that will be a point of activation for each of you, just as I am sharing. I'm going to share what I'm guided to share when I'm guided to share it, because that means it's a point of activation, a portal, just like I am doing in this other space. And really excited to see what comes through for you guys. Luke, if you ever want to join us, I know you said you were strapped for time, but if you ever decide, it's always open and available for you, as it is for anyone that is watching this. And you can get more in-depth channelings like that. So the recordings, I've got a recording coming for you guys today. It's done. I'm just finalizing the video portion of it. So really excited. That's about a 15-20 minute recording. So looking forward to bringing that through in the WhatsApp group. So ever, right? So and however many times, like Mina used it for an assistance in a conjoined activation. You guys are welcome to do that. I mean, you have invested your money here, so once you receive it, use it as you will. Just don't send it to anyone if you don't mind, or if you do, please, 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 I ask this because that's a sharing of energy, and I would really prefer that you share the ones that I've made public. So I think, I don't know if I made that one public or not. I might have, but if you share it with them, like when they're in the same space with you, totally cool with that. Please don't send the file. I know I didn't ask this before, so if you have already, don't worry about it. But from here on out, just don't send the file directly. Just direct them to the YouTube, and they can tune in from that and listen from that space. So yeah. All right. I love you guys so very much. I am going to go get warm and check on my brew bear. And yes, this has been such a lovely gathering. Thank you all so very much. And I look forward to the next one. I do feel it will probably be tomorrow, but we will see. So until then, hasta la vista, baby. I love you all so much, and I will see you next time. Adonai.